Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about retreating monsoon, the withdrawal of the Indian monsoon. It has been all over the news in different articles, various aspects has been covered, and this is a very important topic, both for your prelims as well as for your mains examination. So this is a topic which is related with your syllabus, and there are certain other current affair details also you should be aware about. So in this video, we'll cover both those angles, and my name is Anand Ramobhadran and welcome to Ekam IAS.
Many UPSC aspirants have enrolled for expensive offline and online coaching, yet they don't have any personal mentor to help solve their problems. To help such UPSC aspirants, Ekam IAS is providing 3 free one-to-one mentorship sessions. You can talk to our mentors directly to resolve the issues you are facing in your current stage of preparation. Click the link in the description to schedule an appointment with your mentor.
Now let's begin with retreating monsoon. So retreating or withdrawing, which means that it's moving away from one place. Now before we begin with the concept of retreating monsoon, let's briefly go through what is this monsoon. So we all know that the monsoon is a seasonal reversal of wind, and this happens because of the change or the movement of the low pressure areas. Generally we call it as ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. So this is a low pressure area. You can see here this orange line as well as this yellowish line. Both of these are ITCZ. They are low pressure areas. They move according to the apparent movement of the sun. So wherever the sun goes, the ITCZ will follow that. So when the sun is bright over the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere, ITCZ will move towards the northern hemisphere. And when the sun is over the Tropic of Capricorn or while moving towards the south, the ITCZ will be moving towards the south. So the sun is over the northern hemisphere, especially during the June time period, right? June, July, this period, the sun will be bright over the northern hemisphere. So the land will become warmer, it will become hot. So when the land is hot, this will create the low pressure areas over the land region. So this low pressure will be attracting the wind from the oceanic regions. So this will produce, or this will bring the water vapor from the oceans to the land, leading to rainfall. This is the general concept of the monsoon. Okay. So at one time, the wind will be moving towards the land, which we call just southwest monsoon, which brings the most amount of rainfall. Okay. This begins during the June time period. The second one is a retreating monsoon, or you can say northeast monsoon, retreating monsoon. Retreating monsoon and northeast monsoon, they're not both same, but very closely related to each other. Anyway, just understand this. While the low pressure is moving towards the ocean, the wind will change its direction. So this seasonal reversal of wind is called as monsoon. Okay. Now monsoon has two phases. So one happens during the summer and the another one happens during the winter time period. So during the summer, the land will become warm and a low pressure will form over the land. This low pressure, as we discussed earlier, will attract the winds both from the Arabian Sea as well as from the Bay of Bengal, which will lead to water vapor reaching the Indian subcontinent and which will result in rainfall. Now in newspaper articles, usually this will be called as monsoon trough. In NCERT as well, it is mentioned as monsoon trough. Trough means low pressure. Okay. Now monsoon, low pressure, or the low pressure which is leading to the monsoonal rainfall. Now you should understand that this monsoon trough is part of ITCZ. It's an intensified region of ITCZ. Now during the winter time, the sun will be moving towards the southern hemisphere, and the ITCZ will change its position towards the southern hemisphere. So what happens is that the wind will be following the ITCZ, thereby changing its direction. So earlier, the wind was moving from the ocean towards the land, bringing more rainfall. Now the winds are leaving the continental region, from continental region towards the ocean, which means that the rainfall will be reduced. And this process, the monsoon leaving the continental or a particular region, is called as retreating or withdrawal or retreating monsoon. Withdrawal of the monsoon or retreating monsoon. Okay, in newspaper articles, we will come across both these terms. The monsoon is retreating from Rajasthan. The monsoon is retreating from UP. Okay, or the monsoon is withdrawing. Both remain same. Just understand this. The monsoon clouds will move away and there will be clear sky and there will not be any rainfall. This is what we call it as retreating monsoon or withdrawal of the monsoon. So this is a general concept. So here you can see during the summer, from the ocean to the land, wind is moving from the ocean to the land, reducing or producing rainfall during the summer month. Now during the winter month, the winds are moving from the continent towards the ocean, and this will be reducing the rainfall. The clouds are leaving the subcontinent. Understood? Now we'll talk about this retreating monsoon in detail, various aspects which are in news, which you should be aware about, especially if you're a UPSC aspirant. You need to expect detailed questions from these portions, especially UPSC tend to interlink the static area with the current affairs. So you should be studying this from the static syllabus portion is there, like especially in the NCERT, India Physical Environment. This portion very well discussed. So in this video, we'll talk about various aspects, and let's start with the why this is in news. Okay. Now the main thing why this is in news is that this year in 2023, this year the monsoon, the retrieval of the monsoon is delayed. Okay. The monsoon winds are delayed. So usually the retrieval should start from around mid of September from the western Rajasthan region. Okay, from the western Rajasthan, the retrieval will start. Or the retrieval will begin from the western Rajasthan. Usually the date is around September 17th. And this year, around 1 week delay is there. Now, delay in retrieval means the monsoon clouds are staying over that place, which is leading to rainfall. This time, certain places there should not be much rainfall, but they are receiving rainfall. The impact of this, which we will discuss later in the session. Okay. So, why it is in news? Because of the delayed retrieval of monsoon. Now, the second thing is that for the last 13 years, consecutive 13 years, monsoon retrieval has been delayed. Okay, and there are these normal dates for the beginning of the monsoon as well as the retrieval of the monsoon. But for the last 13 years, this monsoon retrieval date has been delayed. Okay, this is the 13th consecutive year. It is also causing rainfall in certain regions where they should not be getting rainfall at this time. Because of these three reasons, this topic is in news. Now, the normal retrieval of monsoon. Let's talk about the process of the normal retrieval bit, and then we will go to the different aspects of this topic. Then normally, when it comes to the monsoon climate, let's begin with the beginning of the monsoon, not the retrieval. Let's begin with the onset of the monsoon. Okay. So I'll use this map to explain in general what is the onset of monsoon. This is actually an exact map for the retreating monsoon. So don't look at the dates given here as of now. Okay. So when the monsoon begins, generally the winds will be coming from the Arabian Sea towards the Indian subcontinent. The monsoon begin from Malabar coast. Okay. So this is the place where initially the monsoon will make onset. So the onset of the monsoon begins from Kerala, the Malabar coast. The last place where the monsoon rainfall reaches is the western Rajasthan. Okay. So when it comes to the onset begins from Kerala. The last place where onset takes place is Rajasthan. Remember this fact, which is very important for your prelims. Okay. Now when it comes to the retrieval, so now imagine the monsoon clouds have reached the Rajasthan. Okay, it is producing rainfall in the central regions, Jammu Kashmir, Rajasthan, these regions. Now, during this time of the retrieval, around like an ideal date should be around September 15 or 17, these dates. In newspaper article, it is given as September 17th, and here you can see it in the map according to the NCERT, it is given here as September 1st. Right? Anyway, just understand this mid of September. The retrieval should begin, and here it is also written as 15 September here in Rajasthan. Okay, so the retrieval starts from Rajasthan. This is a fact you have to remember. Okay, the last place where the onset took place is Rajasthan, and the first place where the retrieval starts is Rajasthan. So initially the monsoon will retrieve, or it will begin retreating from Rajasthan, then from the central regions, then from the eastern region, slowly from the southern regions. Okay, as you can see here, the dates are progressively coming down here. It is 15th October, 1st November, 15th November, 1st December. Okay, so by the end of November, December, the retreating will be complete. Okay, so here the retreating monsoon, as I told you, begins from Rajasthan, but it ends from not in Kerala, rather in Tamil Nadu. The last place where retreating takes place, or the last place from which the monsoon clouds withdraws, is in Tamil Nadu, not in Kerala. Remember that fact. So, very important fact for your prelims examination: the onset of the monsoon starts from Kerala. The last place where the onset takes place is Rajasthan, and when it comes to the retreating monsoon, the retreating monsoon begins from Rajasthan and ends in Tamil Nadu. Like the last place where the retreating takes place is Tamil Nadu. Very important fact for the prelims examination. Please keep this in mind. So this is how the normal date of the retrieval is. By around December, it should be completely leaving the subcontinent. Okay, so here you can see the dates October 15th means it will be reaching here and will be completely withdrawing from the subcontinent. But at this time, these places, eastern part of the peninsula region, will still be getting the rainfall because of the winds from Bay of Bengal will be moving towards the Tamil Nadu. Now Tamil Nadu gets most of its rainfall during this November, December time period. Okay, November, December time period, the Tamil Nadu will be getting most of its rainfall. Right, this is because the winds are moving from Bay of Bengal towards the Tamil Nadu. And this winds during this November, December time period is normally called as northeast monsoon. Okay, northeast monsoon. This is also part of the retreating monsoon, but this portion, this northeast monsoon wind will be bringing more rainfall for the eastern region, predominantly because of two reasons. Okay, two reasons. The first reason is that during this November, December time period, there will be low pressure will be forming over the Bay of Bengal, which will reach the eastern portion, which will attract the wind. So the moisture is coming from Bay of Bengal, reaching Tamil Nadu. That's the first reason. Second reason is that the Tamil Nadu or this eastern coast lies here. We have the western Ghats. So this wind will be, or the Tamil Nadu is in the windward side of the western Ghats during this time, right? So both of these reasons, the windward side of the western Ghats and the low pressure which is forming of the Bay of Bengal getting carried to the Tamil Nadu. Because of these two reasons, Tamil Nadu gets most of the rainfall during this time, November, December. Okay, and this we call it as northeast monsoon wind. So northeast, okay, northeast monsoon wind. Anyway, so far we have seen how the monsoon generally happens, like the seasonal reversal. Then we have seen the retreating monsoon and why it is in news, and we have also seen the normal retrieval of monsoon. Next, we'll talk about the conditions that are required to announce the withdrawal of the monsoon. For example, this year, September 25th, the monsoon retrieved from Rajasthan. It was, the ideal date was September 17th. So there was a week delay was there. Okay, almost a week or 8 days delay was there. So when we say this, when IMD says the monsoon has withdrawn from a region, three conditions should be satisfied. This is also you should keep in mind. Okay, the first condition is that 5 days continuously there should not be rainfall in that region. So all these conditions we are considering after September 1st. So from June to September we are having rainfall. After September 1st, if any place satisfies these three conditions, IMD will declare the monsoon has withdrawn from that region or retreated from that region. Especially the retreating will be starting from Rajasthan, and more attention is there, or we are focusing more on the Rajasthan region. So the condition one is that 5 consecutive days there should not be rainfall. Second one, a high pressure area will form in that region. Okay, a high pressure area will form in this region, high pressure. So usually we know that when there is a low pressure area, wind will be attracted to that region, will produce rainfall. Now if there is a low pressure area, the wind will move away from that area. Okay, so usually if we look at this latitude, around this Rajasthan latitude, here it is written as 28 degree latitude. If you remember, this is the latitude of subtropical high pressure belt. This you will be studying in the atmospheric, the pressure and the atmospheric winds, as well as the pressure belts which are given in the NCERT. So I hope you know that topic. I'm not going in detail to that portion. But anyway, in this latitude, it is subtropical high pressure belt. So in this area, the second condition, right? The first condition, I told you 5 days, consecutive days, there should not be rainfall. The second condition is that a high pressure should form in this area. Okay, so this high pressure will lead to anti-cyclone formation. We all know that, or we all must have heard about the tropical cyclones, which usually cause devastation in the coastal areas. Right? The tropical cyclones have a low pressure at the center, and they spin around, the wind spin around the low pressure. But when it comes to the anticyclone, the center area will be high pressure. The wind will be spinning but outward. In the tropical cyclone, wind will be spinning inward, okay, towards the low pressure. But in the anticyclone, the wind will be moving away from the high pressure. So, a second condition for the announcement of the withdrawal of the monsoon is a formation of anticyclone or high pressure region should form there. Both are same, okay. Now the third condition, the moisture should be reduced in the atmosphere, or a reduction in the atmospheric moisture is the third condition. So after September 1st, if these three conditions are satisfied, then the IMD will declare that the monsoon has withdrawn from that area. As I told you earlier, the monsoon begins the retrieval from western Rajasthan. So the conditions for the withdrawal of the monsoon. Now the next one, reason for this year's delayed retrieval of the monsoon. This is related with the current affair. Okay. So the static portion of this, usually why the retrieval takes place, we discussed that in that initial slide where I told you the monsoon trough or the ITCZ will be moving towards the south. So imagine this, the Gangetic plain region here, right? It has low pressure. So when this low pressure moves towards the south, okay, the monsoon will start retreating from the northwestern region or the northern region, right? Similarly, this is one reason this year also it has happened. Now the next reason, the specific reason why this has delayed is the presence of low pressure. So this year what happened was, from Bay of Bengal, a lot of various low pressure systems formed in the Bay of Bengal, and these low pressure areas got carried into the deep into the Madhya Pradesh and the central regions of our nation, which means that in these central regions we are having now low pressure. So this low pressure stops the retrieval of the monsoon. So the monsoon retrieval is getting delayed. Clear? So this is a specific reason why this year the delay took place. The delay took place because of the low pressure systems reaching the central India from the Bay of Bengal. Right? So this is the main reason why the retrieval was delayed this time. Now we will talk about the impacts of delayed retrieval. Now many points you should be able to connect with this. I'll just briefly go through the major points. All the points related with this impact of the retrieval or the delayed retrieval of the monsoon will be given in our material. You will be able to download the PDF from the link given in the description. So briefly going to the impact of the delayed retrieval. Now imagine this. The monsoon clouds are leaving the Indian subcontinent, but their retrieval is delayed, which means that monsoon clouds are staying in the Indian subcontinent. What will happen? More rainfall. So September month this year, we witnessed more rainfall. Now when we look at this entire monsoon season starting from June, we had deficit in August. In fact, it was very dry this August. Okay, so ideally we should be having a deficit monsoonal rainfall together for the 4 months together. Ideally we should be having a deficit monsoon rainfall this year. But the September rainfall made up for it. We received a lot of rainfall in the September month. Right? This was one reason or one of the impact of the delayed monsoon rainfall. Now we know that the timely retrieval of the monsoon is important for agriculture, especially when we look at this northwestern region where we have this rabi crop cultivation. They're sowing or the harvesting or sowing. These kind of activities are dependent on the retrieval of the monsoon. Okay, so those got affected. So this retrieval, they have positive impact as well as they have negative impact. The positive impact is that we were having the deficit rainfall. So this September rainfall brought some relieved from this or it increased the soil moisture. So all those regions that was not having enough rainfall, so this September rainfall or this delayed retrieval was a blessing. But at the same time, the rabi cultivation got affected. Similarly, the kharif crop and its cultivation, the acreage where we sowed the kharif crop, it increased this time because we are getting more rainfall, right? But at the same time, as I told you earlier, the rabi crop cultivation got affected. We have seen various impacts of this delayed retrieval of the monsoon, and especially I should be mentioning 2 more topics that are related with this September rainfall which we received. So this September rainfall was mainly attributed to 2 things, right? One, Indian Ocean dipole. UPSC had already asked a question regarding Indian Ocean dipole. So as a serious aspirant, I hope you already know it. If not, please browse in YouTube, Indian Ocean dipole, Ekam IAS. You will be getting a previous video which I have done earlier. Now another one, Madden-Julian oscillation. This also, we have already done a video. Please search in our channel, Madden-Julian oscillation. Both were having favorable condition. Both created. Both of these are oceanic and atmospheric conditions that influences the monsoon rainfall. So in September month, both of this was in favorable condition. Now earlier I mentioned August, it was very dry. See, geography is very interesting. It's very interlinked with various topics. So when you study geography and you go through these newspaper articles, you will be able to interlink topics. So earlier I told you August, it was dry, right? It was predominantly attributed to the El Nino condition which took place in the Pacific. But during the September month, the El Nino's impact was overridden by the positive conditions of Indian Ocean dipole and the Madden-Julian oscillation. Because of that, we received the more or above normal September rainfall. So, as of now, we have discussed why this topic is in news and what is a normal retrieval monsoon, the conditions necessary, and the onset, the places where the onset is made, the first place, the last place. These kind of points are very important for your prelims examination, and the impact of delayed retrieval is more important for your mains examination. Make sure you read this portion in detail from the material given from in our website. You can access that material through the link given in the description. Now moving on to the next portion, what happens after the withdrawal of the monsoon? This is purely related with the static portion. This is what we are going to experience next. After the monsoon withdrawing from our subcontinent, what will happen? Okay, so 2 things will happen after the withdrawal of the monsoon. So ideally, remember the date of the withdrawal as October 15th. The monsoon is retreating from the Indian subcontinent. But during November and December, the eastern coast, as I told you earlier, the Tamil Nadu, remember that case, this November and December case, we will be getting the northeast monsoon. So after the withdrawal of after the retreating of the Indian monsoon, we will be having northeast monsoon, producing rainfall for the northeastern regions. As you can see here, the retreating winds which are coming from these areas, right? So these winds, these three winds, they are actually coming from the land area. They will not produce much rainfall, rather they will reduce the rainfall. They are taking away the monsoon clouds, remember that way, okay. But this one, remember these arrows given here, okay. So they are coming towards the south eastern peninsula region. So eastern coast, the Coromandel coast will be getting rainfall at this time. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, to some extent the Kerala, the central and the southern part of Kerala will be getting rainfall. In fact, at this time of, while recording this video, we are having rainfall and we are having orange alert like throughout the southern districts of Kerala, like around 5 to 6 districts in southern Kerala. Right now, we are having the orange alert, which are attributed to these kind of events. Now remember this northeast monsoon, the time I am mentioning here, they are the normal date. But each year, due to various influences, the time and the timing of the rainfall will change. Okay. Anyway, so the November and December time period, northeast monsoon will take place, leading to rainfall in the Coromandel coast. That's the first thing that will happen after the, that's the one thing that you need to remember, that will happen after the withdrawal of or retreating of the monsoon. A second thing that is mentioned in the NCRT is the October heat. This phenomenon you have to remember, October heat. So ideally by this September end or the mid of the October, the entirely the monsoon should be withdrawing. Now remember or think about the central regions, right? Central regions in India where the monsoon has withdrawn from the end of the September. At this time, there is more moisture that was produced by the monsoon. There is more moisture near the atmosphere because of the rainfall. Now, there is no rainfall. The clouds are moving away. There are clear skies. The retreating of monsoon will create clear skies. Now, clear sky means more sunlight will reach the surface. So, the moisture combined with the clear skies, right, which is high humidity, high temperature. So we will feel like the conditions will be like very hot. Now I have included a screenshot from the weather app. So here it is given as temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Feels like 29 degrees Celsius. Please comment, have you ever noticed this? Why it is, or have you ever wondered why it always shows that feels like? Sometimes it will be like 32 degrees Celsius, feels like 35 degrees Celsius. Especially if you are watching any sports, like in any match, when they're mentioning condition, they will mention this, right? Usually if it's a place is very humid, the feels like temperature will be higher, like in this case. Okay, it is mostly cloudy while I took this screenshot, which means that we will feel more warmer than actually what it is. This happens during this phenomena which we call it as October heat. So after the withdrawal of the monsoon, the moisture that the monsoon clouds left behind, combined with the clear skies producing high temperature, will lead to October heat. So what are the conditions of the October heat? A probable prelims question. High temperature, high humidity. Please remember these two things that will happen after the withdrawal of the monsoon wind. So in this video, we have covered the retrieval of the monsoon wind, both from the current affair perspective as well as from the the syllabus perspective. I hope you liked the video. If you have any doubts or if you have any opinions, please share it in the comment section where I'll be able to reply for your doubts. Make sure to check out the links given in the description. Make sure you download the material of this topic, as well as if you require personal mentorship, please click the link in the description and schedule a session with our mentor. And if you liked this video, please like and share it with your fellow UPSC aspirants. Once again, thank you for watching.